Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast. This is Shelby, aka New Thought Doc. I'm a mental health care doctor, a psychiatrist, and I am joined here today by Lucija from Slovenia, who is a master certified Taibo instructor. And I'm really excited to have her on today. We met a while back at a Taibo certification camp, and I couldn't be more happy to have her here joining us from Slovenia. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, hello. Thank you. My name is Lucija. I come from Slovenia. And of course, first I would like to say thank you for inviting me. It's a really interesting podcast and I'm excited to be here. So as I said, I'm Taibo fitness instructor and that's pretty much my passion. I love teaching Taibo. I love sharing my energy with people, and Taibo is for me the perfect tool to give people some joy, because I think we live in the times when people struggle, not only physically but also mentally, and that 1 hour of teaching gives me an opportunity to give them 1 hour just to relax and enjoy and just feel connected with themselves.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Lucia, for sharing with us. Before we start, I have to share my own experience with Taibo. So Taibo, for me, this is an original Taibo tape. For those of you who don't know what Taibo is, Grandmaster Billy Blanks is an amazing martial artist who created this wonderful at-home workout system back in, I think the 90s. And he's been around for a long time, and he is just such an inspiration. And this is actually because the VHS tape that I used growing up, we had 3 of them, a red one, a green one, and a blue one. And I have followed him during the COVID pandemic. I got back into Taibo because Taibo is like the perfect at-home workout system. And so I was doing videos on YouTube, and I just was like, this is amazing. I got in really good shape. I mean, I got toned, I got fit, I felt better. And it was a perfect thing to do. And so when I found the opportunity to get certified and to go out to one of these training camps, it was absolutely incredible. And I had an amazing time with you and with Billy. And I got my little basic instructor placard. So I'm really excited about that. And now I can say that I'm a Taibo basic instructor. And so, yeah, we met there, and I just felt like it made sense to reach out and see if you wanted to talk about a new idea. I believe it's so important just to, in fitness, to also mentally challenge ourselves just like we physically challenge ourselves. And you build by, creating new things. And in our mind, we create new thoughts. And by creating new thoughts, we create new connections, just like we connect, our muscles and our nerves and all that stuff that helps us be strong. It's kind of the same in the brain. So with that being said, I would love if you would tell us what your new thought is.
Yeah, so I would like to make a short intro about that thought. I wasn't expecting this kind of podcast, and when you wrote me an email asking me about a new thought, new idea, I was like, oh wow, what should I talk about? There's nothing new. I should, fitness, it's Taibo, it's existing for a long time, and what should I talk about? And I was sitting in the living room with my husband, and he asked me, why do you teach Taibo? Why you love teaching Taibo so much? And then I was thinking, well, when I'm standing in front of people and just working out, I feel truly myself. I don't have to pretend. I am joyful, I feel good, I feel confident, and that's where new idea comes from, right? What if working out, exercise is not about changing our body or changing something, but what if it's in fact it's discovering or showing who we really are, right? So that was my first thought, or perhaps it's not new, but for me it was like revelation. I hope that's a correct word. Revelation. Oh yes, that's it. It's about just finding out ourselves again. So when you, how do I say, when I send you an email with my new thought, that was, I will just quickly read it out. I would like to say, I'm not, so English is not my first language, so that's why sometimes I might struggle a little bit, but I'm doing the best, the best I can. So yes, my thought. Okay, here we go. So this was the email I sent you. My thought, my idea. We don't exercise, move to become someone else. We move to recognize who we already are. Most people work out because they want to fix something, to lose weight, to get stronger, look better. But what if it's backwards? What if the movement isn't about changing ourselves, but about revealing ourselves? So that's my thought for today.
I love it. It is amazing. What if exercise isn't about changing ourselves, but it's about revealing ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
And just gonna pop in there also. Your English is fantastic. I just so you know, you're doing completely fine. But I love this idea. It's not about changing ourselves. I think so often we're looking to exercise as sort of an external way of like meeting a goal that we have, and oftentimes it's centered around weight loss or fitting into an ideal standard or looking a certain way or having a certain social it's like almost like social capital. Like if you work out and you're in shape, you have a certain amount of power, or people might take you more seriously. And there's only so much that you can do for so long that is externally motivated, in my opinion. I think external motivation can encourage people to do things, but after a certain amount of time, I think it really does have to become an internal process for people to maintain motivation toward a goal, whatever it is, whether it's fitness or mental health or anything, their career or spirituality. So I like this concept because it reminds us so clearly that we need to perhaps shift the focus more inward as to like, why are we engaging in fitness and what is our fitness journey really about at the end of the day?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, in Taibo, Billy often says, change from the inside out. And I think, you know, yeah, you can work out, you can transform your body, but it will really last for a long time because our bodies goes through a lot of things, right? And you know, you can have a healthy body, like from the outside you can look fit, but inside it doesn't necessarily, so perhaps inside we are not feeling ourselves, right? Perhaps I'm fit, I have all those abs shown and toned body, but I feel empty. And I think if we move to feel more joyful, to feel good inside, everything else will follow, right? And you know, if you want to have a like ripped body, there's a lot of work. It's a lot of you have to say no to certain food, you have to pay attention to what you eat, you have to move a lot, like there's a lot of things, right? And this can be really tiring for people, you know, especially because the motivation is something, oh, I don't like something, I have to change this, I have to have better body, I have to have better this, better that, right? And if we just move from joy because we feel good when we move, and if we move because it's, in a way, it's a celebration of being alive, the results are different. And you know, you can when you move, everything is shown. If you are in pain, it will be shown in your movement. If you are not confident, it will show, right? And you can fake everything just for a certain period of time, but after some time, you cannot do that, right? You cannot fake energy or fake a smile, or because people see everything. And if you really move because you love to, because you feel good in your body, because you just feel alive and yourself in the movement, then you don't have to pretend. You can just be who you are. And when I said, what if it's really about revealing ourselves? If we think about being when we were children, right? We run around, we were joyful, nothing was hard, nothing like movement was easy because it meant freedom to us.
Right.
And then life happened, all the stress and judgment for other people and fear, and we lost confidence. And then when people start moving, when people start working out, they say, okay, I have to change myself. I have to be stronger. I have to be more confident. Perhaps I have to change my body. But deep inside, we have confidence, right? Because when we were children, we had all that. We were fearless. We didn't think about what other people think. We were just moving. And when we start moving again, yes, your body might change, but what motivates us the most is that feeling inside when we feel alive. Like, oh yes, I feel me. Like I finally feel like I can breathe. I feel good, right? And I think that's the beauty of not just fitness or Taibo, or it's about every movement, or walking, or just jogging, or whatever we do. When we move, we just, awaken that inner child, or, and I think that if we think about fitness and moving in this way, it will last longer. You will not lose motivation in 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And also, like, perhaps I'm a bit different instructor because I also struggle, right? I also have issues with my weight. I have issues with my lymphatic system. So for a long time, I was not so confident teaching because I'm not so ripped as others, right? But then, the more I was thinking, yeah, but I have the energy, right? I love moving. I love kicking. I love punching. I can do all these things, even if I'm not that ripped, right? And if I can offer people that joy, that energy, that movement is really about feeling good, then I'm a good instructor, even if I don't look good, right? So I was struggling too. I was not so confident. I was, until the moment when the music turned on. As soon as the music turned on and the music started playing, we started punching, kicking, and then it was me. I wasn't thinking about how overweight I am or, how I look. I was just feeling good and giving that energy and joy to the people. And I think, yeah, that should be fitness. Giving people that insight, something inside, joyful, whatever they. Whatever can help them grow from the inside and help them discover and connect with their bodies again, right? Because we often lose our connection. We don't feel our body. We don't, the breathing is different. We just feel stuck in our bodies. So if I can help people to find that connection with themselves, everything else will follow. The body will follow. If we feel good in our body, like if I feel joyful, it looks different, right? Our face is different. Our eyes shine, and they're like shine bright. If you feel good in your body, if you feel confidence, and yeah, I think just Taibo or fitness or whatever exercise we are doing, it's just a tool to help us to reconnect with ourselves. I apologize, my cat. Like,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. What's your kitty's name?
He's orange.
Orange.
Orange. Well,
Orange.
in Slovenian we say oranžni.
Orangey. Oh, I love it. For those of you who are
I
not on YouTube
apologize. Like I
and don't
have
see
two of
that,
them, so they are running around right now.
there is an orange cat
Yeah.
behind Lucia's head, and it is incredible. And I fully approve of this because I love cats.
He loves to be in the center of attention, so I guess he will be here.
Oh, that is completely fine with me. This is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I just loved just listening to everything you had to say. And this is what I'm enjoying so much about my podcast is that it's helping me learn so much from other people. And I had not previously sort of made the connection of exercise to reconnecting with the inner child. It's so intuitive and it makes so much sense because what do children do? They run, they play, they fall down, they scrape their knee, they get up, they keep running. They are at the monkey bars, they're running in the ocean, they are playing and looking under rocks and exploring, right? We're climbing trees. We're doing all of these things that are so natural, but my mind wasn't programmed to think that that was exercise. My mind was programmed to think that's what children do. That's not that movement. I just didn't connect exercise to what truly is joyous movement. And children are experts in joyous movement. Children are born with good self-esteem, with a capacity for good self-esteem, with a capacity for good confidence, with a capacity for movement, joyous movement, not being afraid, right? Having, being fearless. And as we age and grow into the society around us, we begin to embody new ideas from other people, and we develop new ways of thinking. And somewhere along the line, my joyous movement as a child, which very much was a form of exercise, has been shifted and shaped, and no longer to me does it feel like joyous movement. It has become this sense of obligation or doing this for my body or doing this to look better. And now, thank goodness we're having this conversation. And also, I've sort of been undergoing the last few years my own way of rethinking how I approach exercise, because for a long time it felt very much like an obligation of like, I need to be doing this. If I don't do this, there's something wrong with me. And that's like not a good way to show up to the gym or show up to exercise feeling that way. And I remember feeling that way. And I used to engage in forms of exercise that I didn't really enjoy, including long distance running. I was a long distance runner for a long time, and it did not meld well with my body or my mind. And I have had to find joy through movement in other forms. And now for me, it's brisk walking in nature. It's Taibo. It is dancing, right? Freestyle dancing. It is some other sort of like calisthenics, those types of workouts, body pump, those types of things. And those feel good in my body. But I have learned that if I'm pushing my body to a point where it's hurting, or I'm doing this sort of as a reflection of what I think I should be doing versus what I really want to be doing, then it is not healthy. And that is why I'm appreciating this conversation so much, because now my mind's like, wait, movement doesn't have to be, and exercise doesn't have to be hard. It can be joyous. It can be a reconnection with our inner child. And I just love that, because as a psychiatrist, part of my job is, in a way, to help people reconnect with that healthier, younger version of themselves and heal that relationship. Because so much of the pain and the struggle and the dysfunction that I see has to do with, yes, it can have to do with mental illness, but it also has to do with all the messages that we've embodied and really kind of internalized, and then it takes place in our body. It affects our dietary choices, our movement choices, our choices of how we relate to and engage with other people who we're friends with, where we spend our time, what types of things we do. And that is all a lot of times socially programmed. And it's not in alignment with the inner child that we all have. So I just love what you had to say, and it's going to be helpful for me moving forward for sure.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate you giving me this challenge, because it was a challenge, I admit. Like when I read your first email, what the podcast should be about, I was like, oh wow, like I'm not sure if I have something to share, right? No, but and I love, I love it when something challenges my mind. So this was, yeah, really good, really good. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And I'm going to reflect on our conversation and continue to enjoy it and integrate all of the learning that you've taught me. So thank you for that as well, because you're teaching me and helping me think differently. And I was thinking, one of the thoughts, so a couple things I did yesterday. I was sort of in a flow state yesterday, walking around the lake where I live, and I had a new thought. And the one that I think is calling to me right now to share kind of relates back to what we were just talking about. And my idea is, how do we distinguish the difference between action and acting? Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? So what do I mean by that? When we have actions in our life, we are doing something with the intention of creating like a result, like an actual result in the world around us or in someone else. Acting is sort of trying to create like a mental representation or elicit an emotional response from people or from ourselves, but it's not necessarily focused on creating an actual result in the world. So like in acting, like for actors on a stage, right, on the screen or in the theater, they're showing actions represented through acting, and they are, not necessarily doing it to create a result in the world, right? They're doing it to mentally or symbolically represent something or create an emotional response. And I think in day-to-day, oftentimes we are thinking we're taking action, but we're actually acting. And I think that in order to distinguish when we're doing one versus the other, I think we need to sort of turn our attention to what result we're creating by our actions or by whatever we're doing. So one of the examples that came to mind yesterday as I was thinking was fitness. I was thinking about fitness, and I was thinking about what's the difference between someone that's taking like action steps towards fitness versus acting steps towards fitness, and what does that look like? And I think action steps towards fitness would be, is the person actually really at the gym, focusing on the movement, focusing on their body, focusing on the muscle they're trying to engage, looking for growth, right? Choosing what they're putting into their bodies, really focusing on that, versus maybe acting could be, I am focused on maybe posting about my fitness journey, or I am more focused on how I look in the clothes, or I am more focused on how other people see me working out. But when someone turns a blind eye or looks away, all of a sudden I don't have that pressure to perform anymore, and that's acting. And we all act. I'm including myself. I don't think it's possible to not act sometimes in society, because it's very hard to take off the mask that we've learned to do. But if we are living our lives acting most of the time, we're not going to get the actions that we want. And so I think that we need to kind of focus a little bit more on what are we doing, and is what we're doing creating a real result in the world, a result that we want, a result that we intend to create, or is it really creating more of a symbolic or an emotional response in other people? Because that can help us reveal sort of what we are actually doing and whether or not it's what we want to do, right? So that was my new thought for the day. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like it's sort of connected to what we were talking about.
Yes, it does make sense.
Yeah.
And I think if you work out in your living room alone, and you have like YouTube video, let's say Taibo workout, you are not acting. Like you are working out. Nobody's watching you. And often that's also a challenge to go through the whole exercise. But if you have a person standing next to you, watching you throughout the whole class, I think you will perform in a different way, right? Because you have somebody there watching you. So perhaps, one or the other thing is not bad,
right?
So sometimes that acting can be also my cat, I apologize. So that acting can also be a little bit of a push to give our best.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense what you said. And also, like when we move, right? If I'm just moving if I'm doing bicep curl, I'm just moving my arms without engaging those biceps. It's We can say the same thing, right? If I'm just moving, I'm just acting that I'm moving, or I'm really active in the movement. So it makes sense, yes. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
clear.
And I love what you said in that it's not always bad to be acting. Acting is a form of drama and creativity. You can still create things with it. It's just what is the goal that we're trying to get out of it? And are we aware when we're taking action and when we're acting? And I think that's the key because there's very little that's truly bad, you know. But and I'm not trying to say that, but I think that as long as we can align whatever steps we're taking forward in life and figuring out like what are we trying to get out of it, that's what matters, and it's the awareness that matters, right?
Yeah.
So I have just really, really, really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for coming on to my podcast. I hope you had a good time.
Yes, thank you very much. I admit I was a bit nervous, mostly because of my English, but that's okay. It was a good experience. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And it was really nice talking with you. You're a wonderful person. And I'm looking forward to hear all your next podcasts.
Oh my gosh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lucia. I appreciate you. You're a wonderful person as well. Thank you again for helping me become a certified basic Taibo instructor.
Yes, very much deserved.
That was very much, I appreciate that we both have pushed each other out of our comfort zones in different ways. And I think that's part of what human growth is about. And that's why I'm, hopefully going to have more people on to talk about the podcast and talk with me about their new ideas. And I would love for any of you who are listening, don't feel afraid to reach out. My email that you can reach out to is newthoughtexperimentowner@gmail.com, and that will be linked into my podcast show notes so that you can reach out. And don't feel afraid to push yourself out of your comfort zone like we are. Thank you again, Lucy. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.